working folk don't have a chance unless we organise. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on?
It's about politics, of course. It always is with these things, and our local members here. So I'd just like to ask her what you've been doing about this. Here's Trish Doyle.
He asked it nicely. What the hell are you doing about this? I am very proudly first a member of the Blue Mountains Unions Council. So I just want to thank my comrades for organising yet again a fantastic politics in the pub. I can't be as involved in those organising efforts as I once was, but I just want to acknowledge you all for you do a fantastic job. All involved. Thanks to Leanne, Brett and Stuart. It's been really important hearing your different perspectives, whether you are quoting statistics, whether you are challenging the Minister and putting the word out for others to get involved, or whether you're sharing your stories, Leanne. They're all really important. So thank you for being fabulous speakers too here today. Give them a big clap. First up, back in June when Lynn came to visit me, she was one of the first TAFE teachers on the hop. As soon as the news was out there that yet again our privatisation premier was going to trot out his agenda, she was in my office and articulated very well indeed what it meant to her. I always like to give voice to those people who are actually at the coalface. When they come to see me about an issue which impacts them, I will use their words and their voices to write to the Minister. So I was just saying to Lynn, in that sort of week after she came to visit, I sat down and wrote to David Elliott. Now, remember, this is the Minister who came up to the Blue Mountains when a Section 33 was called and didn't bother getting in contact with the local member. And he stood down at Wentworth Falls with fire raging behind him and told me afterwards, because I heard he was here and thought I'd turn up and remind him that this was my patch. So when I turned up to say hello, he was actually fronting the media about some escapees. So he sort of changed hats. He put on his correctional services hat and he told me he was really embarrassed. This is the man who is all about law and order and actually doesn't understand a thing. So you have to spell it out. If anyone would like a copy of the letter that I wrote to him based on Lynette's experiences, I've got a copy here today. I think we should bombard his office. Yes. After hearing speakers today, write to him. You put something in writing to him, he has to respond. Okay, so do that. And I wrote to him and said, what are your views and plans on maintaining educational pathways out of the crime cycle? What are they, Minister? Have we received a response? No. That is a really important question. What are your plans? And I also wanted to point out to him, and this is what we should do all the time, especially with public education. We need to make this point because this government doesn't get it. that the quality of educational experience and outcomes, once you move away from public education, once you move away from TAFE, do not exist. Okay, research and evidence has proved that. So make sure that's one of your points. I wrote that letter at the beginning of June and I'm yet to get a response. So the last week that I was in Parliament, and I thought I'd just share this. I'm happy to talk to people afterwards, and I know that many of you have questions and comments. I'll just give you that one. At the beginning of each day, as part of general business, members stand up in the Legislative Assembly and they put notices of motion on the table. And I thought I'd just share with you my notice of motion about this issue. Every time I stand to my feet, or if I'm sitting on the bench waiting to stand to my feet, 3 or 4 government members are sent into the chamber by the government whip. And someone told me that they do this on purpose. It's one of their tactics. They want to heckle. They want to have private conversations really loudly or laugh. They want to shout me down and shut me up. One of the government members told me that. Didn't you realise, Trish, that this is a tactic we use with you? And I went, oh, no, I just thought that was your normal behaviour, discourteous, that you actually don't get it, so I need to lean in. I think it's the teacher in me, it's the public teacher in me that leans into the microphone and just shouts right back. That's what I have done, and that's what I will continue to do. And this is part of the motion I put, and I'm hoping that it will come up on the general business papers and we'll get the opportunity, as well as the petition, over a 10,000 signature strong petition, that this notice of motion will come up. So I give notice that on the next sitting day I will move that this House considers shameful the Baird government's plans to cut 138 teachers from the New South Wales prison systems and replace them with contractors from external privately operated training companies with no teaching qualifications. 2, acknowledges the critically important work that qualified professional TAFE teachers do in New South Wales prisons to rehabilitate and prepare prisoners for a productive and positive life after their release. 3, applauds the work, of course, the Good Unionist in me says, of the New South Wales Teachers Federation and the Public Service Association in their campaign on behalf of these workers against the government's shameful policy of privatisation. And my 4th point, and if people would like a copy they can get this, is about noting the research and the evidence, it is there, that shows privatised prisons are high risk, unsafe environments for both prison officers and inmates, and that overall security and welfare standards are lowered once prisons are run for a profit.
Yes.
Okay.